Did
What is
that
the
work?
image on the bow tie, my friend?
It is, hold on. Can you see it? It's Spider-Man.
Oh, it is. I saw Spidey on the ones. Is that
Yeah,
on
it's
the
got
other side? Is it Gwen Stacy Spider-Man?
I got Spider-Man, Gwen. If it was unfolded, you could see Miles on there too. It's
Nice.
the whole Spidey crew. Yeah, there's this really cool place that does like all these like nerdy fabric. I got a Power Rangers one, I got an X-Men one, I got several Star Wars ones.
It reminds me of remember David Lynch's Wild at Heart, where Nick
Yeah.
Cage is like, "Hey, my snakeskin jacket. Did I ever tell you this represents my individuality, my belief in personal freedom?" My version of that of the bow tie is there's a friend of mine on Instagram, one crafty punk. Her name is. She paints vans, and
Awesome.
each pair, man, it's like it's only $250. Now, some people might be like, "What do you mean only?" But that's not bad for a pair of brand new pair of Vans, hand painted by an artist, one of a kind. It's not like she's just like digitally slapping something on. Absolute art, man. And I love the interaction that I get because of it. So I got to imagine the bow tie is always has people like, "Ooh, what is that?" It's just engaging as
The conversation starter.
really is, man. Truly is.
Right. Well, I wanted to ask first, like it's 25 years of Dogma, which does not make my knees feel any younger.
Yeah.
And
Your
I
knees. I
wondered,
was the one that had to get the movie made. So my knees have been killing me for 26 years, man.
yeah, I actually had forgotten until earlier today when I was talking to a friend of mine that he and I did the Loki Bartleby argument scene for a high school audition.
No.
We both got into the play, but not the characters we wanted.
Look, man, that does this old high school thespian's heart well. I
Okay,
was in a
well,
production of You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, with a vindictive director who the year before I was given the part of the stage manager in our town,
mm,
and my friend Ernie, he didn't get a good part, so he's like, "Let's quit this play," and I was like, "Yeah, let's quit it." And the rationale was the teacher who was in charge that year hadn't been in charge the year before. She was only going to be in charge that year, Mrs. Crowley. And then the next year, we were going to be seniors or juniors, and we could do whatever we wanted. But I was like, all right. And so I drop out of our town. And ironically enough, the girl who'll become my high school girlfriend, she winds up taking the part. So the next year when the play rolls around, Mrs. Crowley does it again. Like she didn't move on. And so Ernie's like, well, now I can't audition for the play because he like quit in a big bad way the year before.
mm.
But I was like, well, I am. I want to be in it, man. And it was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And so I didn't get a single part. Like I was hoping, naturally in my heart, I was like, oh my God, I hope I'm Snoopy or Charlie Brown. But
Right.
I went in going like Linus. I'll kill Linus. That'll be great. She wouldn't even give me Linus. She gave me nothing, dude. I was chorus. So like when they all marched around in a circle, like one more person would join them, and I was chorus. And I had one magical moment. We had a 3-night run at Henry Hudson Regional. One magical night, Danielle Chevalier is playing Lucy. They're moving Snoopy's doghouse, and it fell on her finger backstage, and she freaked out as you would, and
Yeah.
like tore us off, and she was supposed to be hitting the stage next. Lucy was like a Lucy scene. So Snoopy's already on stage on the doghouse, no Lucy to be found. I see my moment. I seize my moment. I run out on stage and I start talking in an Irish accent. And I go, I'm looking for Snappy. And they're like, who's that? Who are you? I said, I'm the dog catcher. And the girl who was playing Snoopy was so quick. She started like hiding behind the house and looking and stuff like that. It was so gratifying because for like 3 minutes, me who was given like part to teach me a lesson got to like save the show. And then
Star
Danielle
making.
Chevalier came out with a band-aid on her finger, and she had a really good ad lib. She was just like, why is everyone standing around? It's not supper time. Let's go. And we were back to the show. And then I had to get off stage and watch from the wings. But for one glorious moment, this high school thespian took the stage.
Incredible. Well, I do need to ask you questions, but before then, I have to tell you just one more embarrassing thing about me and auditions.
Do it.
In 2002, I auditioned for my very first community theater, not school play, and the monologue that I delivered was from your Daredevil comic.
It's
Daredevil
fun.
talking to Spider-Man at the end of the
Up
run.
on the bridge.
Yeah, up on the bridge. I pulled that and used that as my audition monologue, and I got the role of Renfield in Dracula. So,
Oh my God. Number one, heroic effort.
yeah,
Picking
thank you.
that out and doing it. And an original choice. Years ago, when I was going to Brookdale Community College, and once again, if you're just tuning in, kids, this is the Off Broadway podcast with me, Benjamin. So I was in an acting class at Brookdale Community College. I dropped out of real college and stuff, and I was working at Quick Stop, and so
Mm.
I would go take a few courses at Brookdale. Mostly, me and Brian Johnson took like juvenile justice and criminology. We wanted to be Batman, but I wound up going back to take an acting class because I was like, I gotta stay. Like, I love that stuff. It was just fun, you know. I'd acted in high school, but I hadn't really had any more opportunities post high school. So I was like, this will be a way to like act. So we were, given scene assignments, partners, and like pick a scene and do it. And everybody's going for like Coriolanus and like that. And I said to my scene partner, I was like, I had two different scene partners. I said, I would like to do this issue of Sandman. In it, Dream goes to hell and has a long conversation with Lucifer. So it's kind of a two-hander. So me and this girl did that. And then me and this guy, and he put on like a sweatshirt with a big A on it, did Animal Man, the issue where Grant Morrison.
Yes.
So
Oh,
I
yeah.
got to play Grant Morrison and he played Animal Man.
Oh.
Animal Man. And I was trying to do a bad British accent. I'm your writer. And shit like that. But it was bliss, man. And I've never heard of anyone else going like, I went in with a piece from a comic book until you. Doesn't it just make sense?
No, it does. Like they're so full of monologues and soliloquies. Like look at
Yes.
the old stuff. Like Chris Claremont has just walls of soliloquy text that are just ripe for like soap opera theater. Like,
And for those that don't know, when you go to audition for theater and whatnot, sometimes they provide the material, but sometimes they're like, bring something from a book of one acts or whatever, or a
mm,
scene study book. And naturally, there's been many dramas and comedies written. So there's lots of material. But at the end of the day, it's the pool what it is. And chances are the thing that you're going to perform has been performed elsewhere, and probably by somebody far better at the craft than you. With a comic book, you're almost guaranteed that nobody at that audition has heard that material before, let alone heard it performed. You have your own stage with gripping content
hmm
to audition with. I'm not just blowing smoke, man. I am because I
No, that
did
was
it
exactly
myself.
my thinking. I was like, no one else
That's
is gonna
smart.
do this.
So
Quite
smart.
possibly, no one else is even gonna have read it. No offense, but
No,
people.
fair enough. But the thing is, you also have the opportunity to create a new reader because
Right.
somebody listens to your watches your performance, like, that was good. What is that? And you're like, it's from this comic book. Maybe not everybody, but somebody's curious enough to be like, oh, I like that. I want to read that comic book. And you're converting a fan, creating a new fan and stuff. But that's crazy, man. Like I've been doing this 31 years, right? And I've
Mm.
talked to a zillion people, and I've talked to some high school thespians. I ain't ever spoken to one person other than you who ever did that. And that is such a great idea.
It's time for them to start.
Really, man. Like kids, if you're like into acting, you want to audition and if you're given the opportunity to do whatever you want, man. Pick a comic book. Like, Ben's not kidding. Soliloquies, walls of words that nobody has ever spake loud before, and is just fertile territory in real estate. Anyway.